वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। तो स्वागत है आप सबका हमारे टॉप 10 के सीरीज में। तो आज का टॉप 10 का वीडियो है टॉप 10 डेटाबेस लैंग्वेज। सो लेट्स बिगिन। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल क्वेश्चन अराइजेस, व्हाट इज डेटाबेस एंड व्हाई शुड वी लर्न इट। तो स्ट्रेट पॉइंट पे आते हुए, डेटाबेस इज नथिंग बट अ कलेक्शन ऑफ कॉलम्स, रोज, fields and records. Database are used to store used data in a proper manner. So that's it. So that it can be effective whenever possible. We can perform various operations on data available in the database like insert, create, etc. Now coming to the next point, why should we learn a database language? So nowadays data is the most powerful things for any organization. It can without data. Without data, business world not have the ability to manage finance, conduct transaction or contact their customers. Database are created to store and organize this data. Once you are good with database language, you have an opportunity to become a database administrator, DBA, whose salary can range in India from 6,07,900 per year to whatever skills you work on. But today's topic, database language. Top 10 database language. So our first database language is Oracle. So you may be familiar with Oracle. So I would like to tell what is Oracle. Oracle database is a multi-model database management system produced and marketed by Oracle Corporation. It is a database commonly used for running online transaction processing, data warehouse and mixed data workload. So nowadays the most popular database used in any organization is Oracle. It was developed by Oracle Corporation and the programming used behind the development of Oracle is C, C++ and assembly language. So it is made with C, C++ and some assembly language are consist in Oracle. Now let's get to the second, that is the MySQL. MySQL is an open source relational database management system. Its name is combination of My, the name of co-founder, and SQL, the abbreviation for structured query language. It was initially released in 23 May 1995. The operating system that can be used for MySQL is, it can be used on Linux, Solix, Mac OS, Windows and FreeBSD. The programming language used behind this are C++ and C. And the developers who have developed MySQL are Oracle Corporation, which we saw. So Oracle is a company that makes database software. So MySQL is also a part of Oracle Corporation. MySQL itself, AB, Michael Wiltonson, the author which I told, Sun Microsoft and David Exmark. So now let's come to the third, that is, so MongoDB is a source available cross-platform document-oriented database programming, classified as a NoSQL database programming. So MongoDB is a NoSQL. It's not an SQL programming language, it's a NoSQL programming language. MongoDB uses JSON like document with optional segmentation. MongoDB is developed by MongoDB Corporation and licensed under the server-side public license. It's what initially released on 11 February 2009. It was developed by MongoDB Private Limited. The operating system on which MongoDB operates is Windows Vista and later Linux OS 10.7 and later. The programming language behind MongoDB are Python, JavaScript, Java, PHP, C++, C, Perl and Ruby. Means in all it uses most of the programming language for development. Let's come to the next, that is the IBM DB2. So IBM DB2 is a family of database management products including database server developed by IBM. They initially supported the relational model, but when extended to support operational relational feature and non-relational structure like JSON and XML. So the operating system on which IBM DB2 operates is Linux, Unix and Windows. It was initially released in 1983. So it's a very old database system. The size of this database is 1.6 GB and the platform that can operate is Intex 68, and the programming language behind behind IBM DB2 is Java, C++, C, assembly language IBM. So from this you will get to know what is the importance of programming language such as Java, C++. So you get to know all of this. So let's come to the next, that is PostgreSQL. So PostgreSQL, also known as Postgre, is a free and open source relational database management system emphasizing executability and SQL complexity. It was originally named Postgre, referred to its origin as a successor of the Ingres database developed at the University of California, Berkeley. So it was initially released at 8 June 1996. It is written purely in C. Purely in C. I would like to emphasize C language here. So this database is purely developed in C. It has operating system like Mac OS, Windows, Linux, and it is developed by PostgreSQL, Global Development Groups, Free and Open Source Software, and Tom Lane. So now let's come to the next, that is the Microsoft Access. So you may be very well familiar with the Microsoft Access. So in today's world, on every Windows computer, Microsoft Access is a free software that is openly available. So Microsoft Access is also a database management system from Microsoft that combines the relational Microsoft Jet database engine with a graphical user interface and software development tool. It is a member of the Microsoft 365 suite of applications, including in the professional and higher edition of Solid Separation. It was developed by Microsoft Corporation. Operating system on which it runs is Microsoft Windows. It was initially released in November 1992, that is 28 years ago, and it's a trialware software. Now coming to the next point, that is Redis. So Redis is an in-memory data structure store used as a distribution in-memory key value database, cache and message broker with optional durability. Redis support different kind of abstract data structure such as string, list, maps, set, sorted set, which we'll learn in further. It was developed by Redis Labs. It was developed on 10th April 2009. The operating system which it is familiar is Unix. So you can't see Redis much on Windows because it is not supported by Windows. The programming language here is also C. So Redis is fully developed in C and it's also a NoSQL database. Now coming to the next point, Elasticsearch DB. So Elasticsearch DB is a search engine based on the Lucent's library. It provides a distributive full-text search engine with a HTTP web interface and schema-free JSON document. The programming language in which it is developed is Java, and the developers are ElasticNV, Swift type. So these are the two developers of Elasticsearch DB. And not the least, Orient DB. So Orient DB is an open source NoSQL database management system written in Java. It is a multi-model database, support graph, document key value and object model. But the relations are managed as a graph database and directly connected between records. It was developed by Orient DB Limited. The platform on which it was developed is Java Platform Standard Edition. Programming language used is Java. So please do like and share, and thank you for watching this. And if you like this video, share this video as much as possible so that all your friends get to know what is the database language and what shall they look for in a database and what jobs are associated